Arthur's love child, Zonnell Glamour.
And I'm Kinsey Malone.
Did you forget who you was, gal?
I mean, they do get us the same person. You never know.
And we are two girls, one skillet. Okay, so today for you, we're going to make
green chili chicken casserole.
This is a recipe that's near and dear to my heart because my ex-mother-in-law, even though she was a terrible, terrible person, she could cook pretty good. So that's where I learned it. And then
I learned it actually from when people would die in our family and we would go to the church and there'd always be a green chili chicken casserole there. So let's say, when I got in the mood for something to eat and it was always the green chili chicken casserole, unfortunately somebody died, so there was that too.
But it wasn't me.
It ain't me either. Yet. You never know.
I hear something delicious going off, but we'll get to that in the next segment.
Are we ready to go?
We are ready to go.
We need a dab of butter, people.
Just a little, please. Half a stick.
Just a dab of butter.
So we each have a little different take on how we do this, but we're going to just mesh it together and make it one good old skillet full of deliciousness.
Yes.
All right.
So basically we're making a roux, like a light bechamel sauce that's going to coat everything and make it all delicious.
Did you say roux?
Yeah. Oh, roux. Hey,
hi, roux. So we've already cooked off our chicken.
Whole chicken deboned.
Or if you're lazy like me, you can get a rotisserie and take it off the bone.
A rotisserie chicken off the bone, everything is pulled off. It makes it a lot easier if you do that ahead of time. You can do it days in advance too. Our butter's looking good.
The butter looks good, so we can go ahead and add that flour. Since it's on your side.
Yes.
So, but really, it was a stick of butter and about, 4 tablespoons probably. But this part you want to whisk. Maybe 8. 4 to 8 tablespoons, depending on how many you're cooking for. And what you do is when you scoop that flour into the pan, what you're doing is cooking off the raw flour taste. Because ain't nothing worse than just that old.
I personally like it raw.
You nasty thing.
But
I let mine brown for just a touch. I don't let it get too dark or it'll taste kind of brown. That looks good. Now the sauce is what's the liquid gold of the recipe because it's so yummy.
All right. Now something I like to do, so I don't know if this is where I'm stepping in on you here. I like to add my salt and pepper while the roux is cooking. Thank you, sister. Because it helps it flavor the whole dish.
What about these onions and garlic? Should we go ahead and
I say we should, yeah.
Just go ahead and dump that in.
Yeah.
And you can make this to taste. If you don't like a lot of pepper, you got the upset stomach, or no, that's enough, Gal. We'll spoon the garlic and onions in, and this is probably 1 medium-sized onion.
And about 3 cloves of garlic.
You can use fresh garlic, or you can use powdered garlic, because sometimes you don't keep fresh garlic on hand. Well, I don't. But
now what we're doing is we're still sauteing this onion while cooking the roux.
You will rue the day.
I will rue the day.
You hungry, sis?
I mean, I could go for a chip.
Fresh made.
Look, Ma, no ham. So we're going to cook this, like Zonnell said, until the onions become translucent a little bit, and the roux gets cooked a little bit. It takes about 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I would say. The onions are going to keep cooking in the sauce. They're not going to be all the way done.
Well, and this is also going to go in the oven and cook for a little while too.
Yes, yes. So it'll definitely get cooked to perfection.
But the tricky step is when you add your sour cream, because you don't want it to curdle along with the milk.
This is true.
So you kind of have to turn the heat down on, what's it on now?
Right now we have our skillet on about 350. We're using an electric skillet. So it's a little different for me even today too. I'm used to cooking on gas. And so it can be a little different, but no matter what you're cooking on, even an open fire, you can cook this too.
It's not a difficult recipe. Even though we are, we wouldn't be novices.
2 lonely Southern girls looking for a skillet.
Yeah, 1 skillet, 2 girls. But I would say we're pretty well experts in cooking, But even though there's some people out there that may be, new to cooking, this is a recipe you can't really mess up.
You can't gain hundreds of pounds over the years without learning how to cook. Let's just say that.
Well,
And I'm not speaking for myself. I'm only talking about something.
I've lost weight, thank you.
I found it.
You think it's probably ready to go ahead and put some milk and sour cream in there? Just one more minute.
One more minute.
One more minute.
Just one more
You
minute.
care to check on that other thing we're boiling over there?
I'm gonna check on something.
Oh.
Else, honey. Check on my gizzards.
More salt in there because she did not salt this enough. And I'm gonna put just a tad more black pepper in a pinch. But otherwise, I think it probably tastes good. Let's go ahead and see what it tastes like. Ew. This is her recipe.
No,
Come on,
Elmore, I ain't touching you again. You're my uncle.
Well, these onions look good, girl. I think it's about time that we go ahead and put the milk and sour cream.
Will you check on the oven real quick while I look at this?
Because I think that bread's baking. Fresh tortillas.
Oh, I love it. She didn't put nothing in this. She never puts enough seasoning, y'all.
All right. Still look good?
Yeah. I ain't touched a thing. Just stirred it.
Okay, all right. So we're going to turn that heat down just a hair.
Just a hair.
Not up.
Was that up? No.
Okay.
Get your bifocals on, girl. You cooking. Oh. She done put it in there.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, well. So now that the heat's come down a little bit and it's not so hot.
Are you ready? I will stir.
Pour in about cup of milk.
I would say so. And you hear that? Ooh. I wish y'all could see this right now.
That's golden goodness.
Oh yeah, it's getting thick. Oh.
So another just a tip.
Thick.
If you want to use heavy whipping cream, it just makes it that much more delectable.
Delectable. We're getting real
We have to
thick.
get in there. She might need another tablespoon.
Yeah. There we go.
Perfect. I wish y'all could smell this.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. It's already getting good and thick. We're gonna add a little bit more. I would say more or less it's a cup and a half.
Probably.
Look at this, 2 girls with 1 empty mason jar.
Our spin-off show.
Speaking of, you can catch us all around Huntsville and surrounding areas. So y'all make sure and you can find us other places than just the cooking show.
We make a mean brunch. That breakfast food, honey, I love it that way.
And I've been known in the past to make a good dinner. I don't know if you ever heard about it. I think we're ready for
Now we can cut that off, basically.
Yeah. We're going to cut this off. That way it doesn't curdle like Zonnell was talking about, because it is not good if it does that, girl.
But the sour cream is what makes this recipe. Oh, the green chilies.
She was trying to leave out the chilies.
Well, some people, if you have a weak constitution, may not want the chilies.
I prefer the Constitution, thank you. So we just put that on in there. A whole can of green chilies diced. You want the liquid and all.
I prefer the hot ones. You can get them mild if you like.
I prefer mild because I don't want to be on the toilet for 9 days straight later.
Well, we just don't have enough toilet paper for all that.
This is true too.
We might need a touch more milk.
I don't know. Let's stir it for just a
Keep
second.
on stirring. Reminds me of that song by Patti LaBelle, Stir It Up.
Stir it up, stir it up. Watch it all fall out. Oh wait, that's the wrong song.
Something like that. Yeah, it's making more of like we need milk.
We need a little more milk. If you haven't noticed already, guys, this is more of an eyeball way of doing it. It's never gonna come out the same no matter what you do. You might always have to add a little more sometimes.
Well, we're almost making a double batch here today.
We really are.
Because we're taking it to the shelter.
2 girls, 1 shelter. Oh, that is looking delicious.
Do you prefer yours to be thick, or do you like it to be longer and last long thinner?
I love it to last long, but I like it thick.
I like it thick too. Maybe
like
just
it
a
thick.
little, just a hair more.
There we go.
If we wasn't making a double batch, this would have probably been perfect with the recipe that we're going to post with it.
Definitely.
But, we're hungry.
Hungry, yeah, balls. Oh, that is looking good.
does look good. So we can let that just stay on the heat, not really on high, just maybe on a low simmer.
A low simmer.
And cover while we prepare the chicken.
Like I said, a whole chicken, deboned and pulled.
But if you will scoop me a few scoops of that in here, this is where I vary from the recipe. Because I like to make a chicken mixture with the sauce, cheese, and chicken.
And see, I do mine more like a lasagna where I just layer everything.
There we go.
So it's all in anyway. So you can do this however you'd like.
All right. So now let's put in some cheese.
Just a little cheese. You tell me when's this.
Keep on cheesing.
It ain't easy being cheesy, baby.
All right. That's probably good.
All right.
I just like it because it combines that chicken and cheese, and when you take that bite of the enchilada, it's the whole enchilada.
The whole enchilada.
I wonder, should we have had music in the background?
I ain't trying to pay those fees.
No, that's true. We could have been listening to Beethoven's Fifth. I think that's royalty free.
Or to the window.
To the walls.
To the walls. To the sweat drip down my mouth. Oh.
This is a family show, ma'am. Why you gotta be so crazy? Let leaving me to be the voice of reason.
She's the Christian.
Nibble. Oh. See, that's good, ain't it? That is good.
Look. That'll knock your wig off.
Hopefully not.
Delicious.
Hopefully not.
Delish.
Okay, so now I'll let you.
All right.
So this comes to the preparation part. We're gonna take flour tortillas, and I reckon you could probably use corn tortillas, don't you think?
Yeah.
But I prefer flour. So what we're gonna do is just give me a scoop. Oh, don't be stingy, girl. There we go.
I was making yours.
Oh. And then you just roll it up. What I like to do is put it in the middle like a taco, pull one side, and then roll it up.
I love pulling it back like that.
Just skin it. So we're gonna do probably 7, 8.
Yeah. And these are like, if you're feeding kids,
you can skimp a little bit too on the chicken.
You can go a little smaller, but with this they'll probably eat one. A little bit of rice.
Oh, we do. We all gonna have some rice too.
We are.
Oh, this is yours. I see.
That one's mine. Now, if y'all find a blonde hair or anything, it ain't mine.
Carpet match the drapes?
Carpet does match the drapes.
No.
That one's mine too. She is so good at that. She's good at pulling it back. I think she's better than me. She's older than me, so I mean that.
Well, my uncle always made these, and so I was used to pulling it back with him. He would kill me if he was alive. Got it.
We got the same uncle?
We got 2 more. Come on. Make these bigger.
2 more?
2 more. That's it.
Oh.
Yeah. There we go. That's right. Give it to Mama.
Yeah, I hope we have enough.
Well, we should. We prepared plenty. We got 1 more.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and you know Max is coming. He heard food. Max is her husband.
I changed my mind. Those are mine.
And then sometimes what I'll do if there's a little extra, just put it on the side right here. Or you can mix that into the sauce.
And if you're eating low carb, you can do it without the tortilla.
This actually is a good low carb recipe.
We were using the low carb tortillas.
See, just mix that into that sauce right there. Hey, that's not. We got COVID-19 going around, girl.
Oh wait, we need to use that again, don't we? I'll get another one.
Good, because sanitary measures in the kitchen keep everybody safe. I would rue the day. Hey, Rue. I would rue the day that she didn't wash that spoon and brought it back over here and just wiped it off or something. You wash that spoon, honey? All good.
I got a ladle.
All right. Yodelay hee hoo away. Right here on top of these beautiful, let me show y'all how good those look in that.
And I'll show the sauce coming over it.
Now, do you like someone who puts a little sauce or a lot of sauce?
I like a lot of sauce.
Me too.
I honestly put all the sauce.
Yeah.
Because let it swim in it.
Me too. Mm-hmm. Isn't that beautiful? Doesn't that just look like Sunday supper?
It looks like anything to me. I'd eat breakfast.
And these things are good, frozen and reheated.
Definitely.
So we have preheated the oven to
I think that's why they brought them to the funerals, is because they had it already
they freeze
prepped.
beautifully. But we have preheated that oven to about
350.
350.
Make sure it gets
Oh
in there.
yes, get them in all the nooks and crannies.
Oh my.
That is beautiful. Oh, I meant to put a little more. Oh, no, Lord. Well, I did that. Leave it up to me. Sorry.
You can't have a good cooking show.
That's why we can't have nice things around here.
This is why I go around sucking on her jewelry. Because she's got bits and pieces. Alright. Now
see that? That's not over. We are not done, people.
we're not done.
Cheese me.
Cheese
Don't just tease me, but cheese me.
you. If this is wrong,
I don't want to be right. There we go.
this is so good. Oh my lord.
Now sometimes one little trick I will do is chop up some fresh cilantro and put in the roux. Hey roux. But we didn't have any.
You can really take this and go with it. You could put seafood in this instead of chicken.
Oh my gosh.
You could put beef.
Can you imagine some noodles with some shrimp instead of the chicken and tortillas? We have hit gold.
That's a video coming next. We're gonna have to do that later on in the season. Maybe season 4.
If we can find
We
any.
will debut. We will debut. I love it. All
Yes.
right. We're gonna put this in the oven on 350 degrees for about
But
30 to 45
Don't forget
minutes.
to mention what I like to do is cover it with foil so that the cheese doesn't burn.
That's definitely true. Sorry.
If you cover it with foil and then take the foil off for about the last 3 minutes, then you'll get a good brown on that cheese that's pre-melted.
You definitely.
But if you don't, you will burn the cheese.
We have a picture coming. It's gonna look fabulous. Thank you guys for watching us.
Thank you for watching 2 Girls, 1 Skillet.